Oh hey, we got some sprouts in the garden. Wanna come check it out?
Here's the start of our garden, and we have 5 tomato plants interspersed with, we use clover as ground cover. Here are some spring onions that we got from the store. We had some left over, so we planted them. These are all carrot tops. They need to be thinned out, but we want them to get a little bit bigger first. Next, we have a variety of lettuce. We just transplanted some, and we're waiting for them to make sure they establish before we thin them out even further. I see butter lettuce in here. If you know any other types of lettuce, please comment below or let us know. We also have 2 cucumber plants. After our lettuce, we have 2 watermelon plants. Apparently, melons have aphids out here, so we'll let you know if that happens. And past our watermelon plants, we have our 3 sisters, which is a Native American style planting, including corn for a top plant, squash for a ground cover plant, and a bean for a mid-level plant. Our hopes for the 3 sisters is to maximize the harvestable amount of plants in a singular space. Here we have a variety of beans and peas, which will also fix nitrogen, which will be beneficial since corn is a nitrogen hog. And our amazing potato forest. We are looking forward to this. Our first garden is our vegetable garden. We'll harvest and eat. Our second and third gardens are just compost crops. Here's our peach tree. It's struggling a little bit, but it's our smallest tree. This is our apricot tree. We were not expecting any fruit this year, so this is a pleasant surprise. We will take those pits and plant them, one directly in the ground and one in a bucket. That's the goal anyway. Outside of the immediate garden, the husband has decided to plant some more native plants that require less water. So this is a yellow currant plant that grows native here, and we should be able to get fruit from. This is our plum tree. It's alive. That's all we ask for. This is Russian sage. We needed more plants that can provide ground cover. This is a gooseberry plant, again, a native plant requiring less water. This is bee balm and a little puff of some other plant. It's beautiful. I hope it spreads. This is our yellow delicious. Again, a surprise, as we were not expecting any fruit. And we will plant some directly in the ground and pot some, which will generate hopefully crab apple trees. This is another Russian sage. It was demolished by ants, but it's growing back. And our honeycrisp. Our honeycrisp and our peach are struggling the most, but they're still alive. These are our compost beds. Most of our compost is supplied by our neighbors who have rabbits. Look up Rain Rabbitry on Facebook and you can see some of our neighbor bunnies. Here is our nursery. We have planted most of our plants, but we have some leftovers in case of transplants. So we have pepper in the front, sage in the middle, tomato in the back, and a mint in the far back. The tomatoes are doing well. The sage are doing okay. 2 of the peppers died, and that mint is struggling. It's probably not gonna make it. Our garden bed, our vegetable garden bed did so well, so we don't have too much of a need for these transplants, but we might plant them in a empty spot in the compost. So here you can see the dramatic difference of our permaculture. This is pretty much what the yard looked like beforehand. Also, we have a bird feeder and a little fire pit. And with some compost and peat moss and a little seeding and a little bit of watering, we are able to improve the landscape and make it much more green. Currently, we are trying to train our mainly clover yard, so that way the roots get longer and it needs to be watered less. And we hope to improve that even more. Randomly, I decided to throw some wildflower seeds over here. I do not know what these flowers are. If you know, comment below. But they're pretty, so we're gonna keep them around. Along the fence, I have decided to make a more compost crop variety of thing in a similar to Three Sisters manner, except for instead of corn, I have decided to plant sunflowers, and we do have squashes, we have mung beans, and then we also have some peas that are going to probably trellis up the fence or trellis up the sunflowers. So again, this is compost crops, which means we don't expect to get any fruit from them. If we do, awesome. We'll take some of it, but we'll compost most of it. And the peas should help to fix nitrogen into the soil. Bonus footage of Daniel, our toad, in our toad abode. The husband found a toad one day, and we set up this little swimming pool for him, and Daniel loves it. We also have some bonus footage of some birds. I do not know what these are. It looks like some sort of small pigeon or dove, and maybe a chickadee. If you know, comment below.